We're going to start just nice and simple. We're going to place the foam roller down on your mat or your tennis ball if that's what you have today. And you're going to place it underneath your shoulder blades. From here, all we're going to do is let our head hang and our shoulders hang and then just come up. You can place your hands over your chest. You can place them by your edges. Whatever feels good for you right now. This will be just underneath your shoulder blade, working through our thoracic spine, so that's up to back. And then from there, you can lift your hips up, and you can just roll further up your shoulder blades and down, nice and gently. So have your head wherever feels good, relax your neck. You can either stay where we were before, or you can lift your hips up and roll up and down your shoulder blades. You can alternate, you can drop your hips. You can do what feels like a sit-up, right? Focusing on that thoracic spine. When we're cycling, we spend so much time keeping our upper body still. So whether you're doing this pre-ride or post-ride, it's so good to just get some mobility in that upper back to prevent us from injuring ourselves. We've got about another 20 seconds left here. So find what works for you, rolling up and down the shoulder blades. Keep going. You've got 5, 4, 3, everyone looks great, 2, and 1. So come up to sitting. We're going to take a seat on the foam roller. Perfect. You're going to take one leg and cross it over to the other thigh. That leg that's crossed over, you're going to turn onto that glute. So if you have a tennis ball, it's the same thing. Just have the tennis ball under that glute on the side of the leg that's bent at the top. All you're going to do is roll up and down your glute. And we've got 2 rules when we're foam rolling. Number 1 is we never foam roll over a bone. And number 2 is we never foam roll over a joint. So we're aiming to hit up our glute from the top to the bottom. Don't think we'll get to a bone, but not rolling over the joint. If you find any area that feels particularly tense, you can hold, apply a bit more pressure and just breathe through it, holding it for a few seconds, whatever feels good for you. We've still got a minute left on this side. Our glutes are probably the biggest muscle group in our body, which is ironic considering that when we cycle, they either work lots or they do not engage as well as they should do. We've got about 30 seconds left on this side. And make sure you're just going side to side as well. Finding all those areas feel extra tight. 15 seconds. Everybody looks great. It's sunny in some places, it looks darker in others. 3, 2, and 1. Stay where you are, don't move. From there, you're going to just roll down to QL, your lower back. So from the top, your bottom rib cage, to the top of your hip, and that's where we're aiming for. Still on that side for your QL, your lower back. Nice and gently. We're going to use our arms to change the pressure. So if you put both hands down to take some of the pressure off, and just breathe through that. So your QL connects, it attaches at your bottom rib, goes all the way down to your pelvis. And a lot of time, if you have any issues in your hamstrings, it's actually your QL that's causing the issues and not your actual hamstrings. and not the backs. Yes, I can see a jumper coming off because you get warm. So just gently rolling up. Yes, perfect.
Question, please. I'm trying to figure out how I can focus just on you.
So
I have like 8 people I'm looking, but you're tiny, and I want to make you take up the whole screen.
So at the top right, you can choose speaker view, or on my video at the top right again, there are 3 dots. If you click that and pin the video, you'll see just me. Does that work?
Nope.
So you want speaker view or top right, the 3 dots to press and pin the video of me.
Maybe try double tapping on the video you want to watch.
Oh, got it. Okay, maybe.
Okay, perfect. Coming down,
Oh,
we're over to the other side. So back seated, taking your other leg over, turning onto that glute for our second side.
Thank you all.
You are welcome. Good, everybody's looking great. Again, using your hands to either add pressure or take pressure away, rolling all the way up from the top of those glutes to the bottom. Changing the angle slightly as well, getting into the sides. And it's your time. So any area that feels particularly tight, the ones that make you want to scream, I can't hear you, so you can scream as loud as you want. Those are the ones that you need to hold and breathe through. Really get into those knots. Still got a little bit of time here. Don't know about anybody else, but I am warm already. Foam rolling should be a workout by itself. So I've got about 40 seconds. I'm not sure if I said good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. One great thing about foam rolling is that it's perfect for morning, noon, or night. It's perfect for pre or post ride. It serves as a warm up and it serves as a cool down. You can add in some stretches or add in a bath afterwards and some Epsom salts. Got about 15 seconds left before we roll down for the QL on this side. So that's our lower back. If you're using that tennis ball, it's the same, just very targeted and roll down. So nice and gently come down. You can come onto an elbow or stay on your hands, rolling from that bottom rib to the top of the pelvis. This one for me feels tender. And that's probably because we spend, right now if you're on lockdown, our time is either in bed, sleeping, not moving, on the sofa or at a desk, not moving. And then we hop on an indoor trainer, or if you're lucky enough, still a bike outdoors. And again, our backs are not moving. So this is good to just release some of that tension, prevent an increased chance of injury. Whew. I have to work to not scream. No one wants to hear that, huh? Just breathe through it. It's a small area, but just finding those spots, holding and breathing. We got about 30 seconds left. Take some adjustment, right? Finding that position that works for you, that really gets into the spots that you need it to. About 20 seconds. After this, we're going to do some threading the needle, so some mobility for our back. So stay there, stay where you are. Keep on that QL. You've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to turn over. Place your foam roller or tennis ball to the side of you. You're going to have one hand down. All we're going to do is open up, and then we're going to thread the needle. But we use the foam roller. It helps us extend even further than if we did it without the foam roller. So opening up, arm goes through, reaching those fingers as far as you can. Breathing at the same time. Yes, perfect. Oh, what am I doing? Reaching far out. Okay, get ready to change sides in 3, 2, and 1. Place that hand down. We open up through the other side. So opening up through our chest. And then working on the mobility of our spine. So again, in cycling, we don't do this very much other than maybe when you're trying to look behind you. Personally, I have lots of issues with neck mobility, so I move my body a lot when I'm looking behind. Keep going, we've got a few more seconds here. Then we're going to start working on our legs. For 3, 2, and 1. Before we move on, just place both hands down. We're going to do cat-cow, so sinking your belly button towards the ground, looking up towards the ceiling. And then opposite way, opening through your shoulder blades, looking towards your belly button and up. And by all means, you can go side to side as well. Use the last 10 seconds to just get into that cat-cow, up and down, side to side. For 3, 2, and 1. We come to a seated position now. This time, placing it underneath our hamstrings. We're going to do one side at a time. Option number 1 is to either have your other leg there for support, depending how tight you are, or having that leg stacked on top for some extra pressure. We're rolling from the top of our knee, the back of our knee, to the bottom of our glutes. I think I've been foam rolling so much the last 2 weeks that my hamstrings are feeling good and I'm not feeling too much tension. One thing I like to say and remind everyone about our legs especially, imagine the days, you remember the days when we could have barbecues? You would have a sausage on the grill, can be a vegan sausage, I don't mind, and you need to turn it to all angles to cook it. So imagine that your thigh is a sausage and you need to turn it all angles to get every part of it. So you're turning one way, you're turning the other way, as well as working through the center. Again, find those spots that feel like they might make you cry and breathe. And then hold for a few seconds and keep on rolling. We've got about 20 seconds left on this side before we take it over to our other hamstring. So same with the tennis ball. It's in exactly the same position, just more targeted. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switching sides. Hamstring on the other side. Finding what works for you, whether that's one leg down or whether that's both legs stacked. And then rolling through from the top of the knee to the bottom of your glutes. Getting all the angles, side to side, and the center. Ooh. Try and get close to the inside too, where your adductors are. We're going to come on to our IT band later, which is outside of your leg, which is actually crucial in cycling because although we're in one motion of moving our legs forward, we have muscles that are keeping our knees from rolling in and rolling out, and they work pretty hard. So we've still got just under a minute left here. Really notice if one side feels tighter than the other side. When we were not on lockdown, I would notice that standing on a train, you would naturally lean on one leg, which puts strain on one side and stretches out the other side. So foam rolling is something that's good for working on those imbalances. Got about 20 seconds left on this hamstring. We're going to take it all the way down to our calves, so the bottom of our legs after this. About 10 seconds. Also, my foam roller has not seen so much action ever. And I'm pretty sure you're the same. Hips down. Choose a calf. So bottom of your knee all the way, all the way to the top of your ankle. Again, you can use one leg to support to take some of the pressure off, or if that feels not too bad, you can stack your other leg on top, add some more pressure. I'm going to stick with the one leg. I decided to go for a run on Monday, and I think I'm still feeling the effects. Again, same sausage analogy. You want to get all the sides. So turning your foot to one side, turning your foot to the other side. Also, if you find a tight spot, you can hold it and then flex and extend your foot, your ankle, to work through it. So sides, get those angles, get those sides, inside, outside. Any tight spots, flex and extend your foot. Hold and breathe. Good. Got about 30 seconds left here. We're going to give our arms a quick break in a moment. They're doing all the work holding up our body weight, right? So just under 20 seconds. Use that time to hold if you need to, or roll through the angles. 3, 2, and 1. Other calf. Yes, you're with me. Get in there. Good, we're there, we're there. So first working on those angles, side to side, through the center. Remember, you got the option, one leg for support, second leg for extra pressure. By all means, if your calves are super tight, you can have your hips down and just roll with your leg. Got plenty of time to play, see what feels good for you today. You can hold any tight areas, flex, extend your foot. Breathe. Ooh, all sorts of cracking. Got a good minute left here. If your arms need a break, drop those hips. Don't forget, right down at the bottom too, near your Achilles. It's quite a tight area. Flex and extend your foot. And get all the way up there to the top of your calf. Not on your knee joint though, you remember that, right? No joint rolling, no bone rolling. 20-ish seconds left. No one's smiling. What's wrong, guys? Not enjoying yourselves. And relax for a moment. So quickly find a position that's comfortable for you, seated, however that is. All we're going to do is take some cervical rotation. So we're looking side to side, aiming to keep those shoulders nice and still. This is a good one to just mobilize your cervical spine. I guess indoor cycling, we don't have a need to look behind us, right? Because we've got no traffic. We've got no teammates. If we have, they're on Zwift and we can see them on the screen in front of us. So it's good to just mobilize through your cervical spine. If you were going on a bike, it would just warm you up for outdoors. Make sure that when you take that turn of your neck, you don't do yourself any damage. And then from here, come back to the center. We're going to take our ear to our shoulder as far as you can. I'm not very good at this one. I slept funny on Sunday night and my shoulders and neck have been killing me. So as far to your shoulder as you can. Really think about moving your head as opposed to what I normally do and moving my shoulder to my ear. Got a few more seconds here. This one gives our shoulders a quick break from holding up our body weight. We're going to continue with our legs. The front, starting off with our quads. And then you can just go forward, chin to your chest, and up, just nice and gently. Good. Few more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So grab your tennis ball, grab your foam roller. Onto our quads. These are the ones that end up working the most when they shouldn't. They should have support from everywhere else, but they do all the work. So front of your thigh, from your hip to the top of your knee on the front. You can either have one leg down for support, have it however feels comfortable, or, oh, this is not for me today, but you can stack one leg on top of the other for some extra pressure. I definitely do not need that. I can hear someone else feels it too. I'm going to stick with one leg down. Whew. And again, you want to get, especially on the inside, so rolling towards the inside. We're going to come to our IT band shortly. And just nice and slowly, you know the drill. Any bit that feels excruciatingly tight, just hold, apply that pressure and breathe. I've found a spot. I'm going to hold here for a few seconds. And it might be too much, but you can always, when you're holding that spot, bend, extend, and flex your knee. Really get in there. But you don't have to do that, okay? You do whatever feels good for you. About 15 seconds till we take it over to the other side, our other quad. So 4, 3, 2, and 1. The same thing, other side. One thing that I've learned through all these classes is that when you're rolling a particular area, it feels like it's the worst. And then you get to the next area and then you forget how bad the last one was because the current one is so bad. And then by the end of it, you just forgotten all the pain because you just feel so good. So make sure you work through the inside too. Remember, you can stack your legs if your quads are not feeling tight and you want to add some more pressure. I can see most people are with me on the single leg. They don't need the extra pressure. Do not blame you. Check on the other side of the room. Ooh. Option to hold those tight bits when you're holding. I'm not even sure I can do it. Bend and extend. Extend and flex your knee. See how that feels. It's not enjoyable. You don't have to do it. About 30 seconds. Come down onto your elbows if that feels good. Make yourself comfortable. We've got 30 seconds. There should definitely be no one wearing any jumpers by now. You should have warmed up. 10 seconds. I'm never sure if it's the lights or the pain that makes me sweat. 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're just going to turn straight over to this side onto our IT band. So the side of your leg. Again, from your hip to your knee. So this was what I was talking about when I was saying that although when we're cycling, we're just moving our legs in one way, there are muscles that are working hard to keep your knees tracking where they should be. Your IT band is not a muscle, it's connective tissue, which is connected to your glutes, your quads, and your hamstrings. So when you're actually rolling your IT band, you're rolling those muscles on the very side of your hamstrings and your quads, not the actual connective tissue. If that makes any sense. If you're even listening right now, because IT band is a sore spot, huh? That's how you know you need it. So I've got lots of time here. The time goes slow on the ones that hurt. Any position that's comfortable. You know the drill. Hold those spots that feel extra tight. Breathe through it. Got about 20-ish seconds before we turn over for that other IT band. 10 seconds. Last chance to roll it top to bottom. 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Use that top leg for support because I'm pretty sure no one's going to want to stack their legs on their IT band. Ooh. I guess none of us really take that time to spend on our aftercare, should we say? Can we call it aftercare of cycling? And there's no better time than now, seeing as we're unable to get out and see a sports therapist or massage therapist. So your best bet is to look after yourself as well as you can. Reduce the chances of any injuries, keep yourself in good shape, help with your recovery, which all in turn helps with your performance. I'll be looking for all the messages tomorrow of PBs. Your muscles will be so unstressed. Not even sure that's a word, but we'll go with it. But 25 seconds. After this, we're going to do our shins. Tibialis anterior. I'm not sure how pleasant or unpleasant it is, but by the time we get there, we'll have forgotten what it felt like to roll our ID bands. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So shin number 1, have a look. Remember our rule, no bones, right? So this is your shin bone, and this is where we're rolling to the side. It's going to come at an angle. Make sure you get the bone not on foam roller or tennis ball. So it's to the side. Don't know if any of you are triathletes and you run as well. If you've ever had shin splints, it's because of this muscle. In cycling, we're lucky. We don't have any impact. That's one way of looking after our shins. But if you are also triathlete and run, this is a good way to undo some of the impact you get from running. So just making sure you're on the side of that shin, rolling through the muscle and not the bone. I guess nothing should ever be painful. Uncomfortable? Yes. Pain? No. Anything that's painful, you stop that. But for this, we just have to learn to distinguish the difference between discomfort and pain. 10 seconds left before we take it over to the other shin. 3, 2, and 1. So same thing, other side. Not our shin bone, to the side. Oh, this one feels worse for me. And up and down. Anyone who does suffer from shin splints, I'm sure you know, softer trainers, running on softer ground is perfect, and cycling is great. No impact. Ooh. Yes, find those areas. For me, it's the whole of my shin that's tight. Hold and breathe. Got a good minute left here. Ooh. All the way from the top. Not forgetting down by your ankle. About 30 seconds. I'm finding myself in some sort of pretzel shape. But it works. Whatever gets you there. 15 seconds. We're close to the end. Hang in there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So come to kneeling. If you have a foam roller, you can use a foam roller. Otherwise, just have your arms where they are. Take a big step out with one leg. Arms go up. Let's change that so you can see me better. Arms go up, and all we're going to do is push our hips forward and then bend towards your front knee, come back in and go back. So for this one, we're working through our hip flexor, which is one that you can't roll, as well as some extra mobility for our spine, moving sideways, laterally. So forward, hips forward. You should feel the hip flexor on your back leg, and working through our spine and mobility. Okay, get ready to change legs in 3, in 2, and 1. Switch legs. Perfect. Arms up, hips forward, get in that hip flexor, then bend to the side, back to the center, hips back. Yes, looking great. Just nice and slow, nice and controlled. About 20 seconds. Ooh. Our hip flexors end up getting super tight from cycling because of the position that our legs are in the whole time. 3, 2, and 1. You're going to come down to sitting on your heels. You're going to place a foam roller in front. And we're going to come down as if to a child's pose, have those elbows tucked into your sides. And all you're going to do is roll your arms out as far as you can, reaching nice and far with your fingertips. And then rolling those arms back in, squeezing your elbows into your side. So out, reaching, and then in, squeezing the shoulder blades down and elbows to your side. This one is kind of like child's pose, but also working into that upper back mobility again. Pressing down through your hips at the same time. Rolling out and in. Okay, feel free to close your eyes here. We've got just under a minute. Take some deep breaths, breathing in. With every breath out, just sink deeper into the mat and into the stretch. Knowing that you've done the worst bit, but all for the benefit of feeling great afterwards, feeling great tomorrow, and feeling great on a bike. Got 10 seconds. Last chance to really reach those fingers away. Really sink deeper into that mat. And roll it in. Slowly come up to seated position. However's comfortable for you. I think I'll sit on my hips. What we're going to do is take some shoulder rolls backwards, shrugging your shoulders up towards your ears, opening through your chest. So the exact opposite of how we are on a bike. And then take your hands in front, interlock your fingers, open up through those shoulder blades, so stretching through your back, looking down towards your belly button. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed down, not shrugged up towards your ears. Taking your hands round behind, either interlock your fingers or place your hands in the small of your back, whatever feels good for you. Open through your chest, look up towards the ceiling. From there, take a big deep breath in. Breathe out, place one hand down on the side, lengthen through the other side. Good. Slowly come to the other side. And then back to the center. Another big deep breath in, arms up. Breathe out. Again, in and out. One more, big one in and Ladies and gents, we did it together. Couple of things. Make sure you stay hydrated. Drink lots of water today. Drink lots of water tomorrow. Do not be surprised if you feel sore. That's completely normal. It could take a couple of days if you were extremely tight. So just know that that's normal. Know that you did a great job to look after yourself, and stay safe and stay well.